This is more about the coronavirus epidemic, living in those times. For the record, my partner continues to object to doing this. She thinks it's a waste of time. Yet, obviously, she's cooperating. In that way, you could say she is enabling me. We all have our addictions. They say that now, with regard to the epidemic of the novel coronavirus, we are in the first stages of recovery. This is the age of heroes, and it is also the age of models. And for recovery, I like the addiction model. In order to begin recovery, you must know that recovery is a process and that it will last every day of your life until you expire. When you know that and accept that, you can begin to recover. It's like that with us. We are never going to return to the way things were before the year 0 CE. I don't believe we will anyway. Things are going to be different. Exactly how, I can't say. But we will be in recovery for the rest of our lives. The sooner we accept and even embrace that, the happier and more successful we will be. Anything else is crying over spilled virus. The biggest change will be, I think, in simple human interaction. It won't be simple anymore. The epidemic feels a lot more present when you go out and you have to mask up. It isn't really a big deal, and yet it is. It's kind of spooky. And when I start thinking like that, I begin to hear the voice of the soft-spoken, ultra-sincere lady doctor. And that gets very spooky. Speaking of spooky, there's a lot of talk about meat processing plants. If some of them were contaminated, we'd truly be seeing an epidemic. You could forget the daily numbers. They'd be too numerous to count. They're making a big deal out of the fact that 57,000 people have died of the virus in America. More, they intone, ominously, than the number of Americans who died in the Vietnam War. Come on! It's also 20 times the number of Americans who died in the attacks on 9/11. 30 times the number of Americans who died on the USS Arizona. You can play all kinds of games with numbers. You also can't get around the fact that there are about 350 million Americans. 57,000 is some microscopic part of 1%. Back to speaking about spooky. The formula for a thriller is simple. A character says, "What's next?" and another character says, "I don't know." Cue the spooky music. 0 CE is an unpredictable time. The Joker is out there. My question of the moment is, how much longer will it be before people begin to behave unpredictably? Or is that already happening? Unpredictability can be exciting, threatening, dangerous, stressful. Some people can take it. Others crack. In ads all the time, I hear about how much giant companies care about me. The automobile companies, food suppliers, insurance companies, investment firms, all of them are telling me that they care about me, and of course that we will get through this together. I think this is related to, or an offshoot of, living in the age of heroes. Every day the politicians, from the mayor to the president, compliment citizens for behaving so honorably. I'm not sure what to make of this. I feel like maybe I should call them up, those giant corporations, ask to talk to someone in HR, tell them how gratifying it is that they care about me. And then I could put my wife on the line and she could thank them too. And we could find a way to reciprocate, to care for them. I don't know how you could show your love for a big corporation, but in these odd times, I can see where it might be appropriate. Since they care for me, how can I do less? Talk about unpredictable. I just heard a doctor talking about what she called corona crazy. dementia associated with the virus, and also isolation, fear, and stress, along with reacting to the government telling us what to do, even if it's for our own good. She said this is a clinical medical condition. So now we may have yet another epidemic to deal with. Corona crazy. People are going corona crazy. She said it was also fueled by excessive drinking and drugs. So the virus is driving us crazy. And here I thought it was the lady doctor.